Title: The Curious Cat and the Clever Bird. In a quaint little village, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, there lived a playful cat named Whiskers. With a coat as black as midnight and bright, emerald green eyes, Whiskers was the pride of Mrs. Thompson, a warm-hearted old lady who spoiled him with treats and cuddles. Whiskers spent his days lounging in sunbeams and chasing the occasional mouse, but his heart yearned for adventure and excitement beyond the garden walls. One beautiful spring morning, as the sun painted the sky in soft pastels, Whiskers sat at the window, watching the world go by. His attention was drawn by a vibrant flash of color in the sky, little bird flitting between branches, singing a cheerful melody. Intrigued, Whiskers perked up his ears. "Oh, how I wish I could fly like that," he sighed wistfully. What fun it must be to see the world from above. Little did he know, the bird had noticed him too. This bird was named Bella, a spirited blue jay known for her sharp wit and playful nature. Bella had seen Whiskers gazing longingly from the window and felt a pang of empathy. Maybe I can show him what flying is like, at least for a little while, she thought. Gathering her courage, Bella swooped down and perched on the same windowsill where Whiskers lay. "Hello there, feline friend," she chirped. Whiskers jumped at the sound. Who are you?" he stuttered, a mix of surprise and curiosity lighting up his eyes. "I'm Bella, and I couldn't help but notice you watching me. Do you want to see the world from my perspective?" she asked with a twinkle in her eye. "Really? You take me with you?" Whiskers exclaimed, excitement bubbling within him. "Of course. Just climb aboard my back, and I'll show you how it feels to soar," Bella chirped. Whiskers hesitated for a moment. "But you're a bird, and I'm a cat. What if I'm too heavy?" he wondered. "Oh, don't worry about that," Bella replied, flapping her wings. "I'm stronger than I look. Besides, it'll be fun. Trust me." With a leap of faith, Whiskers jumped onto the windowsill and carefully positioned himself on Bella's back. As Bella took off, lifting into the air, Whiskers felt a rush of wind rush past him. He gasped in delight, his heart racing. "Hold on tight," Bella called as they soared higher and higher, leaving the garden behind. They glided over rooftops, flitted between trees, and danced with the clouds. The world below looked so different, so vast and colorful. "Wow, this is incredible," Whiskers exclaimed, his fears forgotten. "See, flying is all about trusting the wind and enjoying the view," Bella said, darting through the air with grace. As they flew over the village, Whiskers pointed out familiar sights from a new angle: the brook where he'd chased butterflies, the field where he'd hidden from the rain. All of it looked different, almost magical, from high above. But soon, Bella noticed the sky was beginning to darken as clouds rolled in and a chilly breeze swept through the air. "We should head back, Whiskers. It looks like a storm is coming," she said, her tone more serious. "Wait just a bit longer. I want to see more," Whiskers argued, wanting to hold on to this extraordinary adventure. "Trust me on this, Whiskers. Sometimes the best adventures are the ones that end safely," Bella insisted, swooping down toward the garden. Reluctantly, Whiskers agreed, and as they landed softly on the windowsill, raindrops began to patter against the glass. "Thanks for the ride, Bella. That was the best thing I've ever experienced," he said, his eyes sparkling with joy. "You're welcome. Remember, it's always good to explore, but it's also wise to know when to return home," Bella replied, fluffing her feathers. Just then, Mrs. Thompson appeared at the window with a worried expression. "Whiskers, where have you been?" she exclaimed, her hands on her hips. Whiskers hopped back into the room, and Bella took flight, soaring into the sky before the rain could fully fall. "I was just, exploring from a different angle," Whiskers replied sheepishly, glancing outside at the retreating figure of Bella. From that day on, Whiskers often thought of Bella. He shared their adventure with Mrs. Thompson, and every time he saw birds flying overhead, he remembered how one tiny friend had shown him a new view of the world. And Bella, perched on a distant branch, would often watch Whiskers from above, a knowing smile on her beak. They had formed a bond that transcended their natural instincts, a friendship built on trust and the joy of exploration. In that little village, a cat and a bird proved that friendship knows no boundaries, reminding everyone that sometimes taking a leap or a flight can lead to the most delightful adventures. Title: The Unlikely Friendship. Once upon a time, in a vibrant jungle filled with colorful flora and enigmatic sounds, there lived a mischievous monkey named Max. Max was known for his agility and playful spirit. He swung from branch to branch, his laughter echoing through the trees as he played tricks on his fellow jungle animals. One sunny morning, while Max was hanging upside down from a vine, he spotted something unusual at the edge of the jungle. Curious, he swung closer to investigate. There, beneath a majestic banyan tree, lay a scruffy dog with a sad look in his eyes. The dog was a mix of breeds, with fur that had seen better days and a collar that looked too tight. "What's wrong, furry friend?" Max called, his voice filled with curiosity. The dog lifted his head, surprised to see a monkey. "I'm Rufus," he replied with a sigh. "I was separated from my owner during a storm, and now I'm lost. I can't find my way home." Max felt a pang of sympathy. He may have been a playful troublemaker, but he couldn't ignore Rufus's sadness. "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way home," he exclaimed, determination glinting in his eyes. Rufus's tail wagged slightly. "Really? You would do that for me?" "Of course, but first, do you like adventure?" Max asked with a playful grin. "More than anything," Rufus replied, his spirits lifting. And so, the unlikely duo set off on their adventure. Max swung through the trees, expertly navigating the jungle, while Rufus trotted beneath, following the sounds and sights of their wild surroundings. They laughed and played along the way, chasing butterflies and splashing through shallow streams. As they journeyed deeper into the jungle, they encountered various animals. They met a wise old tortoise, who shared stories of the human village, not far from the jungle's edge. "If you're looking for a way home, follow the river. It leads to the village," he advised. "Thanks, Mr. Tortoise," Max shouted as he swung off in the direction of the river, with Rufus bounding alongside him. As they reached the riverbank, they were met with a beautiful sight. The river sparkled in the sunlight, and the gentle sound of flowing water filled the air. Max jumped from tree to tree, while Rufus ran along the shore, feeling carefree for the first time since he got lost. Suddenly, they heard a shrill cry. From behind a boulder, they saw a small deer trapped in vines, panicking and unable to break free. Max's heart raced. "We have to help," he exclaimed. Rufus nodded, and without a second thought, he sprang into action. With his strength, he tugged at the vines while Max used his nimble fingers to pull the greenery apart. Together, they worked as a team, freeing the little deer. Thank you," the deer said, relieved. "I thought I would be stuck forever. You're brave friends." After the deer thanked them profusely, it bounded off into the forest. Max and Rufus high-fived each other, their bond growing stronger with each challenge they faced. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they followed the river until they finally heard sounds of laughter and chatter. "That must be the village," Rufus barked excitedly. They arrived at the edge of the village, and Rufus's eyes widened with joy as he recognized his surroundings. "That's my home," he yelped, running ahead. But just as Rufus stepped forward, he paused, turning back to Max. "I can't go back without thanking you properly for your help. You've been the best friend I could ever ask for." Max felt a warm sensation in his chest. "I'm glad I could help, Rufus. You're my friend too." With that, Rufus bounded toward his house, where a little boy was calling his name. As the boy rushed out, Rufus felt a wave of happiness wash over him. He turned back to find Max still watching from the treetops. "Don't be a stranger, Max," he shouted. Max grinned, his heart full. "I'll visit you, and we can have more adventures." As the boy and Rufus played joyfully together, Max swung back into the jungle. He realized that even the wildest of adventures couldn't compare to the friendships forged along the way. And so, the monkey and the dog remained lifelong friends, proving that no matter their differences, a strong bond can grow between the most unlikely companions. Their adventures would continue, with every journey strengthening the ties of friendship that tied them together. The end. The end.